Welcome to Steve Marriott Coaching. Well, it's that time of year where organisations large and small will be making lots and lots of communications as they roll out their strategies, visions and new initiatives for the year ahead. And faced with this deluge of communication, it can be very easy for you to feel lost or even overwhelmed by all of these extras and bolt-ons to what I'd imagine is an already full diary. You may even find yourself in quiet corners, talking to people that you trust and telling them that you didn't sign on for this, that all of these extras are just diversions and distractions from the job that you really want to do. You see, when we view all of these extras like engagement and quality relationships, diversity and inclusion, psychological safety as separate, it's easy for you to feel daunted by the challenge that they're going to present to you and maybe not even know where to go or where to start for the best. So here's a hierarchy that I've created to put all of these initiatives into some kind of logical sequence to enable you to understand where they all fit in, but more importantly, to be able to get you to focus on where's the best place for you to focus all of your efforts on those vital first steps. So let's take a look at this hierarchy. Now, the core principle of any hierarchy is that each ascending stage is actually the result of a well-delivered and well-consolidated previous stage. So really, we can't go up until we've got that one sorted. So the first part of our hierarchy, the top, is all about growth. A growing business is a succeeding business, and that starts with a shared sense of purpose. But there's three elements. First of all, there's business growth, and that's about having people with the right level of motivation, expertise, and intent in the right positions so that they can deploy that to its best effect within your business. So that brings us on to people. So now we've got to talk about personal growth. And this is about everyone across your business making improvements in their own behavior and habits, their own actions, and maybe even their own reactions. Now, any of you who've undertaken personal growth will know that that takes a certain degree of motivation and a desire to improve and to make those changes. It means stepping out of your comfort zone and experiencing a little bit of discomfort, and maybe an open mind will help. Which brings us to growth mindset. Carol Dweck's work is well publicised now, and it is that belief that skills and intelligence can be improved with a little bit of effort and a little bit of persistence. It means that people with that growth mindset will lean in and embrace their challenges. They're resilient to the occasional knockbacks, and they learn from criticism. What it also means is we're all capable of that growth mindset, but what it requires to support us stepping into it is a sense of inclusion and belonging. Now, inclusion and belonging, or the elimination of a feeling of exclusion, is what makes diversity work. Inclusion are the actions that we take every day that create that sense of fairness and equity across all people in the business, that they're respected, they're valued, and they feel engaged and motivated to contribute to something bigger than themselves. Belonging, a little bit more ethereal. Belonging comes from a central tenet from the Neuro Leadership Institute that we need to be seen and heard as the unique individuals that we believe ourselves to be. I think it's encapsulated beautifully in these two phrases. Diversity is having a seat at the table, inclusion, having a voice, and belonging is having that voice be heard. My personal favourite, diversity is being invited to the dance, inclusions are being asked to dance, and belonging is knowing that I can dance in whatever way I want. But that requires psychological safety and a sense of well-being. Now, Amy Edmondson has given us lots and lots with regard to psychological safety. But her statement here is the belief that one will not be punished or humiliated for speaking up with ideas, questions, or concerns or mistakes. It says to me, this is about me being comfortable in the knowledge that I can be my authentic self without fear of judgment or recrimination. Teams that experience psychological safety are able to ask for help, they're able to admit to their mistakes, they're able to raise concerns and offer perspectives and ideas. Most importantly, they're able or comfortable to challenge the ways they work, they're comfortable in challenging other members of the team, and maybe even challenging those with authority over them. Sitting below psychological safety is quality relationships and engagement. Now, engagement happens when we elevate our relationships from the standard, transient, and superficial, task orientated, to one of connected and understanding of our role, the business, and more importantly, a deeper understanding of the people who work within the business with us. Now, in order to do that, we need to think about trust, a small word with massive implications. Now, trust is about choosing to be able to risk making something that you value vulnerable or susceptible to another person's actions or inactions. It's also the confidence that we have both in ourselves and in other people who we work alongside to deliver on what we say that we'll deliver on. Without it, nothing is going to move any further forward. So let's put them all together. What you see with this hierarchy is an increasing confidence as we move up the hierarchy. As trust is extended upwards, downwards, and across the organisation, what we notice is that it elevates relationships from transactional and transitory to one where we feel connected and have a deeper understanding of those people around us. With those better quality relationships and a sense of connectedness, that tends to reduce our levels of insecurity, personal doubt, and the fear of judgment and recrimination. Without that fear, all team members then can sense what we call belonging. With that sense of belonging, they relax, they become more authentic in their actions and in what they say. And as confidence flows throughout the organisation, it encourages everyone to experiment, to grow, and to develop. So there's the hierarchy. Now, there's two reasons that I've shown you that hierarchy. My first one is to hopefully knit together some of the things that might be separate and overwhelming to you into a more coherent whole, so that you can see that there is a logical escalation where one completed project will lead to another, and that there is a kind of master plan that's backed up by research and science, and is good for the business. But more importantly, what I wanted to do with the hierarchy is to give you a tool, give you something practical that will enable you to make the best decision as to, firstly, where you need to focus as an individual, a leader, or as a team. But secondly, where you'll find those vital first steps that will get you on the road to moving up that hierarchy. So how do you do that? Well, the first thing is to consider your team and your team's objectives or outcomes for the year. Where's your most significant challenge? Put a pin into that hierarchy that says, actually, that's going to be our biggest challenge. Now, if that challenge lies at growth, that your business has stagnated, or that maybe the people in your team have stagnated and they're no longer wanting to expand and push themselves forward, then that's where your focus should be. But the actions that you need to take will be at the level below. So that's going to be in inclusion and belonging. What is it about your team that makes people not quite feel as included or belonging as maybe they could be, that would give them that launch pad into growth? As we said before, inclusion and belonging could even be the elimination of the things that we do that make people feel excluded. Now, they don't have to be massive. Sometimes it's the language that we use, or maybe some of the small rituals that we undertake that make people feel like they're being pushed to the outer fringes of a team. So have a look at some of the things that you could do that would increase inclusion or decrease that feeling of exclusion. Likewise, if it is about inclusivity and belonging, then your actions will sit in that band called psychological safety. What are the things that are giving your people the impression or the belief that that they can't be authentic, that they may feel judged, or there may be some form of recrimination if they are close to their most honest and authentic selves? Likewise, for psychological safety, we need to take a step down and say, what are the things that we can do that will enable us to bolster, deepen, and reinforce those relationships, to shift them from the transitory into ones where we've got a greater level of understanding and connectedness. Now, if those things are really of interest to you, I'm going to include some links up in the top left-hand corner to a couple of videos that will take you into a communication tool that will deepen your connections. And I'm going to do another sequence of videos all around trust, the things that you can do to establish, to grow, to extend, and probably most importantly, to repair trust when it's been broken. So they're going to be up there in the top left-hand corner. But most importantly, dig out the hierarchy, decide where your focus is, go down a level and start having conversations about what are the simple things that you can do that are going to have the biggest impact to move you up that hierarchy.